Thank you very much. Yeah, so I'm here to talk about a campaign we ran last year for Christmas, or up till Christmas, because here in Denmark it's a custom to eat. Like a pork roast, but also to eat a Christmas duck. And we wanted to show the Danes how or where their Christmas duck comes from. So the campaign basically is, here is your Christmas duck. AI helped me to produce this image, and it basically frames the campaign very well. We wanted people to sit at the Christmas table with or without a duck, but then have behind them, like metaphorically speaking, behind them have this campaign and the images and the knowledge about where the ducks come from. So that was basically the goal of the campaign. But why run a campaign on Christmas ducks? And especially, we wanted to run a campaign on organic Christmas ducks. So why even do that? Well, the industry itself loves to talk about the story of especially the organic animals. You know, they are free range, they're healthy, they live in these green pastures. And it says here, fresh Danish country duck for Christmas. You can pick it up in the store on the 23rd of December, blah, blah, blah. And you can see it's just so nice and happy and cozy. Well, if you look closely, you can see this is not from December. There are leaves on the trees. So already there, the lie starts. Oh, look at this. Merry Christmas. The ducks, they're so happy. Oh, we even show them, like we treat them so well. Look, they want to sit here on my lap. And suddenly we have these, so the happy ducks are still there. We have a report from the Ministry of Food Stuff, and it has a big smiley, so it's very, very good. We have, suddenly it's a cuddly animal and something underneath that tastes good. All right, it's so nice. And you can even go to the store and buy this product that you like. Look at this, it's Danish, which means it's very good. It's better than anything else in the world. It's organic, that's the red symbol there. And there is a label. It says anbefalet af Dyrenes Beskyttelse, recommended by the Danish RSPCA, basically. So this is the good stuff. This is the story. These ducks in green fields that are having a great time, and this fantastic product, certified, everything that just tastes so good, and you can eat it with the cleanest conscience in the world. The thing is, something happens in between. What is it? How do we go from this to this? Well, nobody really cares, right? And that's where we come in. Do you know what happens, by the way? Any suggestions? Magic, of course. So we just go pling from this to that. No worries. That's the campaign. Now, how do you run a campaign on Christmas or organic Christmas ducks? Well, I'm doing this in a little bit of a reverse direction, because we didn't sit down, like plan everything and make decisions and all that. It came along the way, but these are the decisions we made. So first of all, we wanted video from Denmark, and it had to be new video. I'm not sure that there were any video to find anywhere of organic Christmas ducks and an organic duck slaughterhouse. But anyways, if there was, what would be the usual objection from people? Any ideas? So either this is not from Denmark, right? Or it's old. So things have changed. Your video is 3 weeks old. It's much better now. Or 3 years old, or whatever. So second decision was to do it online. I work as a campaigner for a small organization called OASA, or Organization Against the Suffering of Animals. Very straightforward name. So it's basically me and then Valentina, who sits down there, who runs the campaigns. when they're done. I wanted to mention it later, but I'll just do it now. This campaign was done by a handful of people because we needed the video material and other things. So more people are involved, but we were just the online team. And because we're just two of us, like going to every city of Denmark and protest signs and all that, that was a bit out of the picture. So we, out of necessity, just decided, of course, it's an online campaign. Now, two more decisions that were kind of framing the entire way that the campaign was running. So first of all, the messaging was informational. And what do I mean by informational? Well, it wasn't a solution-based campaign. So the campaign was not, you have to go vegan, otherwise this happens. It was, this is how your Christmas duck is made. That's it. So we wanted it to be left up to people themselves to find out, well, now I have this information, what does it mean to me? We didn't want to tell people what it meant to them, like, because of this, you should do this, or you shouldn't do this, or whatever. So purely informational, as far as possible, of course. When people asked, so what can I do about this? Then we would suggest, well, don't buy a Christmas duck anymore. Some people wanted to broaden it even further, but we were like, you know, now this campaign is about ducks. So we're not going to talk about you shouldn't eat pigs, or you shouldn't eat salmon, or you shouldn't eat all these things. We can do that in another day. Now this campaign is about ducks, so we should talk about them. So information, this is how your duck is made. If you don't like it, well, don't buy it. We're trying as hard as possible not to use the V word, because, you know, when you say go vegan or vegetarian or whatever, then people immediately start raising their fences, and we basically wanted them to take in as much information from the campaign as possible. And what they decided to do with it, fine. And the final decision was, let's talk about the industry. Let's not talk about the individual. Actually, I have images for this. I forgot about that. Yeah, so new video from Denmark. So we decided to do hidden videos, hidden video cameras. So there are two ways you can go to a farm and do filming. You can either go there in person with a camera and you can film stuff, but it's a slaughterhouse. So how do you go there and film stuff while they're slaughtering the animals? It's pretty hard. So we decided to use these hidden cameras. So again, for the informational campaign, we basically just wanted people to have a very bad taste in their mouth if they bought the duck, and if they didn't, well, fine, if they went with some mock duck instead. And also, as I said, it was not about telling people what choices they made, but if somebody said, all right, then I have to go vegan, then we were like, yeah, that's one way to solve this problem, right? And the last one, if you go for the individual, then what usually happens? Well, the industry actually likes that, because then they can point the finger at a single individual. They can say, oh, it's just them. It's just one bad guy. He didn't understand the rules or whatever. And also all the consumers, they really like the individual, because then they can go and buy their duck from one of the good places. So we decided to not name the specific slaughterhouse. And some of you might know where it is now, but we're still trying to hide it as much as possible. Because of two things. First of all, this issue where if you can single out the individual, then you can always go to all the others. And the other thing is also, if the campaign, or if it's suddenly like broadly known where the place is, then maybe police or others might be more interested in who went there, how was the footage obtained, and all that stuff. And, you know, just the legal repercussions and all that. It's not that that the campaigners or the activists that did the campaign are like afraid of that. Otherwise, the campaign would never have been done. But it just takes up energy and time if you have a legal action afterwards. So without legal action afterwards, you can go straight to the next campaign. So it's just easier for everybody. Okay, so how do you choose the place where to video or to do the videoing? If you go to hvor er dyrene, where is the animals.dk, it's an online service where all the animal farms in Denmark are pictured. And if you select ducks, this is what you end up with. So these are the duck farms in Denmark. Some of them are small, of course. So if you say, all right, let's just look at farms more than 1,000 ducks, then you end up with these. And if you want to go organic only, well, then you just have a few choices left. And if you want a slaughterhouse at the premises, then you have even fewer. But that's basically how you find them. It's very, very easy to find the farms in Denmark with this online service. Now, here comes the disturbing part. What did the campaign discover? And I've selected a handful of images. I haven't selected the videos because they're quite tough and bloody. But a warning now are the triggering images. So first of all, it was discovered that the ducks were sitting in filthy crates for up to 24 hours after being either caught from the field or delivered from other farms that did not have slaughterhouses. I don't know how I would feel sitting in a crate like this with shit all over and a lot of ducks screaming and making noise all the time. So the ducks that were sitting in there, you can see one of them looking out here. When the workers arrived, we saw them throwing the crates. So this guy is taking the crate from this tower over here. It's probably like almost 2 meters, and because it's tough to carry it slowly down, he just yanks it off and lets it go. So the ducks fall to the ground. Another kind of rough handling we saw was sometimes the ducks would wake up from anesthesia, or when they opened the crates, they would fly out inside the slaughterhouse. And this guy, he is stepping on one of the ducks to catch it. So they were not very nice to the ducks. Of course, another way not to be very nice to the ducks is to kill them. So rough handling while killing them or putting them in the stunning machine. And what we also saw many times actually was after the stunning, which is the machine you can see there in the background. It's basically a V made of plastic. You put the duck's head inside and it slides down into the bottom of the V where it gets stuck. And there are electrodes there that stuns the duck. Then they throw it onto this table because the line is full, so there isn't room to hang the ducks and slit their throats. They just throw them in a pile on the table, and some of them would lie there for more than a minute. And maybe you don't know, but if you get stunned by electricity, you will regain conscious eventually. And within that, or after approximately that minute, we would see ducks waking up, and some of them would fall to the floor and try to escape and all that stuff. So they were breaking many laws and regulations about slaughterhouses. And we did report it to the police. Can you guess what happened because of that report? Nothing at all. We also gained access to the sick bay or the sick pen for the ducks. I believe there were 100 or maybe 200 ducks in a small room in the place, and we saw many kinds of sick animals. It was quite a terrible and disturbing place. So running the campaign, usually you have these trolls that pop in and say, let me just translate. So Tom is saying, There are no more Danish ducks produced. We get all of them from abroad. This is some bullshit to show. And Kåre is saying, oh, stop, this is not from Denmark. Why are you lying about it? Inge is a bit more subtle. She says, is there any documentation that it's recorded in Denmark? So that was some of the feedback, and boom. We got a phone call from Check, which means verify it. It's a service that verifies basically anything that is reported online, in media, in news. They want to. It's like a fact checker, whether it's fake or if it's real. And now we had to verify that it was actually real. How do you do that? Well, luckily, at one of the last visits, some of the activists thought, well, how do we actually document that this is the place? And let me show you the video. That was the most important one from the place. You see the crates. You see a quick look inside the slaughterhouse. Here you have the hooks that the ducks are attached to, and you have the stunning machine right there. There it is. You see the V out there in the corner. And a little bit more of the slaughterhouse. And for quick documentation, date and time, and on a mobile phone you can get an app that shows the GPS location. And just showing this image to Check, they were like, all right, we got it. But also, if you take images with a smartphone, so this image over here, if you go to the metadata, you can see a lot of, the usual, when it's taken, the size of it. But in the metadata, you can see like the equipment. You can see how it's taken, but you can also see the GPS coordinates. These can be changed, of course. The other video could be made by AI, but together all of this information made them realize that, all right, can this really be recorded in Denmark? Yes, the harsh videos of Christmas ducks were recorded on a Danish free-range farm. Yes. So this would prove, of course, to other media that this is actually real, but it was also great for the online campaign because, we believe so much here in Denmark that we're better than anybody else, not only with regards to ducks, but also soccer and environment and everything. So having this like pretty solid proof that it was from Denmark was great, just to paste that URL. So very important, if you ever do a campaign, remember to do some kind of documentation of the place, the time, GPS coordinates, all that stuff. What about the rest of the press? So I was talking to Økologisk Landsforening, the organic union or something like that. The editor, the main editor, and he said, if I have to do anything on this story, I have to be able to contact the producer. So that was a major problem in this campaign because we decided that we did not want to go for the individual, we wanted to go at the industry itself. And when you do that decision, well, if you say to media that this is the guy, you should contact them, then suddenly you don't have control of the situation anymore. And most likely it would have been known where the farm, which farm and slaughterhouse it was. So because of this, he was like, yeah, I can't really run the story then. Which is, it's sad because we would really like this to be blown up in mainstream media. But, well, we had made the decision. Now, the cost of a campaign like this, what is that? So this is the Facebook ads that we ran on the posts. And if you look in the corner, you can see we spent 9,402 crowns during all of December, which sounds like it's quite a lot of money, right? But in reality, it isn't. The big spend was in the rough calculated 500 hours that we spent on the campaign. A lot of it was during the online campaign, but also obtaining the video material, editing, all that stuff. It takes a lot of time. So yeah, this is not the true cost, but nobody pays us, so the 500 hours was interest. What was the impact? Well, running an online campaign and spending 10,000 crowns on ads gives you a reach of 268,000 Danes. And I believe that is a really, really high impact that we had, reaching 250,000 people, showing them their Christmas duck. The page itself where we ran it is called De Glemte Danske, the Forgotten Danish, and then we can add the animal that we're talking about in the campaign afterwards. It has 10,000 followers, and you can see here on the colors that the followers themselves were actually not the ones that were generating a lot of traffic. I wouldn't call it a viral campaign, but you know, usually on Facebook and other media, you're within your own bubble. And I can with certainty say that we burst that bubble and got out. Because if you look at the non-followers, it's the light blue, I believe, light blue line underneath the total amount of reach. So we really got out there. And if you look at when the campaign ended over here, you can see that the campaign itself was the driving factor. When it ended, we basically went back to a dormant page. So 250,000 people saw the campaign. What was in the campaign? We had 22 posts with photos. We had 14 reels, vertical videos. And we had 6 videos that were like ordinary Facebook videos. So it might seem that when you think about it, oh, it's a campaign, it's a full Christmas, but in reality, it's not that much, right? Of course, the content inside of these photos and the reels and the videos, we spend a lot of time on that, but you don't need like 1 million pictures to do a campaign. You basically need, well, if you do a Christmas calendar, you need 24 good images. And that's basically it. The reels themselves were the ones that got the most traffic. So it's very interesting that Facebook really pushes reels. So if you run a campaign yourself or just have a good video that you want to show people, post it as a reel. Videos themselves, they get okay reach as well, and so does photos. But if you look at content interactions, it is really the photos that do the interaction. That's where people engage, communicate, give likes, all that stuff. It seems with videos and reels, it's more you watch it and then you scroll to the next thing. So if you want engagement, that's photos that you need. Reach as well. This breakdown is from organic reach and from ads. So I just wanted to show you that yes, the ads did have a significant impact, but we actually, for some reason, got a lot of the reach from just organic reach itself. So what is organic reach? It's basically the algorithm that says someone you know that looks like you was interested in this page, so I'll try to show it to you as well in your feed. And it's also people that share the posts, then of course it goes out to their community. So yeah, a lot of shares, a lot of organic reach, and we also paid for some of the reach as well. Minutes viewed. So how many minutes of video was viewed? It's a very interesting metric. If it was 17 minutes, then you would understand what it was, right? But it's 82 days and 19 hours of video watched. Now, how much is that really? It's 119,220 minutes. So if you post one video that lasts 1 minute, it would have been watched 119,000 times. So that's just to put it into perspective. And the videos we made, we tried to make them less than a minute. So yeah, a lot of videos was watched during this Christmas campaign. Now, I mentioned that it was an online campaign. We decided we didn't have the manpower, but of course, the great activists from all over Denmark stepped in and did street campaigns or street protests. So they were both in Copenhagen, in Aarhus, and in Aalborg. We edited some of the videos to go on screen, and they made these fantastic signs, as you saw yesterday as well. So thank you very much to the activists that went on street and shared the message as well. Where are you guys? Yeah. And what about the users on Facebook? Well, there were some negative trolls, of course. Yeah, finally I can get my Christmas duck. I refuse to believe that there are Danish slaughterhouses where you would slaughter ducks wearing sandals. This post smells like fish, and I don't understand why you want to publish it, because I don't believe it's from Denmark, and I need to know where it is. So it's funny, because maybe there was a guy in sandals, I'm not even sure, but it's like this guy would watch the entire video trying to find, where is the error? Where is the error? Sandals. Yeah. So another one, oh, I'm getting hungry, I'll go make some food. I really feel like eating duck now. And this guy says, yeah, I'm looking so much forward to eating duck. So the usuals, right? We have some more. So Christian is like, as a consumer, I have the right to know who I have to avoid. To me, it looks like you are on the producer's side and not the consumer's side. Okay. So again, you cannot satisfy everybody. The first line, yeah, I understand what he's saying, right? But then again, look at the trap. I have to know what to avoid. So he's not avoiding duck. He wants to avoid a producer. And that tells me that we made the right decision in going not for the individual, but going for the industry. Now he's standing there in the supermarket looking at all these ducks going, shit, no, Mom, it might be, no. Yeah. What the F are you talking about? It's very normal. It's food on the table. For the last 7,000 years, we've eaten duck and meat. Are you coming here to forbid me to eat it? I didn't know. We started eating meat 7,000 years, that it's all crazy. So he's talking about a pack of smokes. We had a video of the workers when they were throwing the boxes. You can see one of the workers smoking, and you can see the cigarette box, and it's blue. So that proves that it's not from Denmark, right? Well, of course, like half of the workers in the slaughterhouse was foreigners. So probably they have blue packets of cigarettes in other countries. But it shows you the mental tricks that people wants to go through to not look at the truth. Now, we did get some positive comments. Camille is mentioning Dyrenes Beskyttelse, which is the Danish RSPCA, and she says, what is going on? Here I was believing that I did just a tiny bit of difference by paying twice for organic meat. I feel laughingstock. This makes me infuriated. I've been preaching about animal welfare for everybody around me in the hope of that they would also choose animal welfare. This is so absurd. Yes. So finally we burst the bubble, right? We all know this woman here, believing that as long as it's organic, it's just perfect, and preaching to everybody else that just buy organic, everything is fine. So hopefully we burst the bubble in a way that she acts on it and would. I'm deeply, deeply shaken. You should become vegetarian. Yep. But the thing is, we did have some vegans going to the page and commenting as well. And we could actually see that when they used the vegan word, like, so I should become vegetarian. No, you should go vegan. And they were like, no, I'm not. Oh, I'm not going to be one of those crazy. So it's really hard, right? But I feel that when people are taking one step, we should let them. Yeah. We can always talk about the next steps, but let's encourage that step, and not. It's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna run a small 1,000 meters tomorrow just to get in shape. No. You got to do an Ironman. It's like maybe it doesn't work. So the next one, I'll never gonna buy duck again. No, thank you to animal mistreatment. You. So good stuff. And there are hundreds and hundreds and more hundreds of these comments, and a lot of discussions also. So thank you to Valentina for standing all these comments for 24 days. There was a lot. Yeah. So basically that was the Christmas duck campaign.
Thank you so much, Michael, both for the presentation.